How's it going, everybody? It's Warren. Welcome back to my channel, The Cosmic Wonder, where we talk about Marvel and everything relating to the MCU. And today we have a ton of Marvel news, specifically concerning Phase 4, both shows and movies. It looks like movie theaters are beginning to open back up, so for those of you who have been waiting to go to the movie theater, I have some good news for you in this video. It looks like Disney and Marvel Studios has given the green light for production on all of the shows that have been postponed, so that's excellent news as well. And then we have a lot of news about Phase 4, including Hawkeye, WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the Loki series, and Black Widow as well. So I'll go over it all and I'll break down everything that you need to know in this video. If you're new, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all things relating to the MCU, and so you can enter my weekly giveaway for a chance to win a Hulk Funko Pop from Avengers Endgame. All you have to do is subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment down below. So to start it off real quick, let's talk about theaters opening back up. It's been reported by Discussing Film that a National Association of Theater Owner Representatives has confirmed they expect 90% of the global theatrical market to be open by July 17th. This will be right in time for Christopher Nolan's Tenet that is coming out. Now, for those of you who are waiting to go get inside of a theater, again, this is really good news. However, of course, there will most likely be some social distancing guidelines that come with the theaters reopening. And although Tenet still has its original release date, it's widely expected that not many new movies are going to come out in July or August. But this is good news because Black Widow is supposed to come out in November, and if movie theaters start opening up in July, that means that movie theaters will be open for 4 months before Black Widow comes out in November, meaning that the release date probably isn't moving, and the Black Widow November release date is very, very solid. So it looks like we're really not going to have to deal with any release dates moving back any longer. And this is also backed up by the fact that Marvel Studios and Disney are opening back up again. In fact, they're giving the green light and beginning production again on all of the shows and movies that they were currently working on before they had to shut down due to the pandemic. They have begun to work on Avatar again in New Zealand, and it looks like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision, and the Loki series are going to begin production again in July. Now again, this is really good news because Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision were supposed to come out this year, and they most likely are still going to. Falcon and the Winter Soldier only has about 3 weeks left of filming, and WandaVision is in post-production already. Now there is some news of reshoots and more filming that I'll talk about in just a bit, but starting production again in July is plenty of time for both of these series to finish everything that they need for a 2020 release date on Disney+. And this all seems to be in full motion as on Tuesday, the Los Angeles County Task Force presented guidelines for immediate reopening of film and TV production and theme parks. So everything in Hollywood, specifically at Marvel Studios and Disney, seems to be getting back to almost completely normal again. Obviously, there are guidelines that they'll have to follow to be safe, but it looks like these shows and our movies are going to be coming out right now when they're stated to come out. Black Widow in November of 2020, and then Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision this year as well. So let's start off with some news about the WandaVision series. Although we've heard that filming has been completed for the first season of the WandaVision series, it looks like they're going to start re-filming again in July. This could be to complete scenes that they may not have shot before, or it could be for reshoots. But we do know that it is confirmed that this is what they're doing. Paul Bettany, who of course plays Vision, was planning on attending Tampa Bay Comic-Con, but unfortunately he will not be attending anymore. He had to cancel, and according to his representative, it's because he had to go back and do some more filming for WandaVision in July. Now, we pretty much thought that filming had already been completed for the WandaVision series, but the interesting part is that they're going to resume filming in LA and not Atlanta where they begin filming. Now, they've been in post-production for a while now, so this most likely means they just need to reshoot a few scenes to get right. And again, this is really good news because it means that it's not getting pushed back. Right now, it does seem like we're getting it this year. Now, before we dive into the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, and Black Widow news, we have some Hawkeye and Young Avengers news. We haven't really had too much happening in the Hawkeye world, but today we have a production grid for it, including when it's supposedly going to begin filming. It says that the shoot date for the Hawkeye series is going to be on September 28th of 2020, filming in Atlanta, Georgia, where Marvel Studios films most of their shows and movies. And this shoot date is also seemingly confirmed by Charles Murphy, who put out a tweet yesterday stating that he has seen this shoot date for the Hawkeye series all the way back in March. So this shoot date is supposedly very legitimate, but what's really interesting is the plot summary that this gives. The project summary reads, Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, passes the torch to Kate Bishop. Bishop takes up the Hawkeye mantle after Barton. She is also a member of the group known as the Young Avengers. So we already knew that Hawkeye was going to pass on the mantle to Kate Bishop, but we didn't know exactly how involved Kate Bishop was going to be with the Young Avengers or what impact the Hawkeye series would have on the Young Avengers. However, it looks like the Hawkeye series might actually be the show to start the formation of the Young Avengers, with Kate Bishop possibly being the leader. Kate Bishop is going to get actual training from Hawkeye. He's going to teach her how to be him, essentially. So all of the training that he's gotten is going to actually be transferred to her. And this is going to be very different than most of the other Young Avengers. Wiccan and Speed will probably have some training with their powers. If Iron Lad comes in, he may have a little bit of training with his powers, and the same thing goes for Miss Marvel. And then if Cassie Lang becomes Stature, she may have little to almost no training except for watching her dad. From what we heard, Scott Lang doesn't want his daughter to go off and join the Young Avengers. So although a lot of the Young Avengers might have a little bit of training, Kate Bishop is going to be the only one who has been trained by an actual Avenger intentionally. She'll be the only one actually trained to be an actual Avenger, which will make her a perfect candidate to be the leader of the Young Avenger team. Now, there will obviously be some adult in charge of this, perhaps Spider-Man or Captain Marvel, but with the exception of one of those two, it looks like Kate Bishop is going to be the leader of the Young Avengers. And now we have news about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series. It's been reported that they're going to resume filming in July, just like WandaVision. Now, we recently heard some pretty interesting news about the series. Charles Murphy from murphysmultiverse.com has reported that if they're going to do a second season of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they'll have to retitle the series. Now, that implies that Bucky or Sam are going to lose their title of the Falcon or Winter Soldier, which implies that one of them, most likely Sam, is going to go on to become the true Captain America in the first season. Now, this is expected, even though most of us thought Sam was just going to go into the series already being Captain America since Steve Rogers gave him the shield at the end of Avengers Endgame. But of course we know that US Agent John Walker is going to be Captain America at first. But based off of this report that Season 2 would have to be retitled, it looks like Sam will go on to become Captain America, which is why Season 2 will have to be titled something like Captain America and the Winter Soldier. So for those of you who were worried that we'd never see Sam as Captain America, it looks like we don't have to worry any longer. And along with WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the Loki series looks like it's going to pick back up in July as well. Now, Loki still seems to be on track, however, we have a very interesting report by Atlanta Filming. They reported the other day that if Falcon and the Winter Soldier airs in August, it will have curiously lengthened episodes, but Loki, they might be able to split up, which would be weird since it's a multiple season story already. This is implying that the Loki series is going to be a very, very big deal. More than one season has already been confirmed, and now this report makes it look like that the shows might actually be stretched out into two-part episodes. Now, they do go on to say that nobody really knows and they'll know more next week, but it sounds like they've done quite a bit of filming already, don't have a lot to cut out, and have more filming to do as well. And again, this implies that this story is going to have a big impact on the MCU, and that's most likely due to the fact that Kang is most likely going to make his debut in the Loki series. Kang will most likely go on to become the MCU's next major villain, and most likely the Avengers 5 villain as well. And since his story is going to be tied into the Loki series, it would make sense that they can't exactly cut a lot of scenes out of the show. So that's really exciting, but more details on that next week. And to top it all off, Black Widow news. It's looking like we're going to be seeing a lot more of young Natasha Romanoff in the Black Widow movie than we thought. The Marvel fandom has discovered an actress by the name of Anechka. Her Instagram does not have that many followers, however, she is followed by Marvel Studios. Now, a while back we did hear rumors that Marvel Studios was looking for actresses to play a young Natasha. This was for flashbacks of her childhood. Well, there's quite a bit of evidence that this girl is going to be playing a young Natasha. If you go to her Instagram page, her very first photo of her is of her in Budapest, and she has red hair. She was most likely there filming for the Black Widow film. Her hair is most likely red because she's playing a young Natasha. And why else would the official Instagram page of Marvel Studios be following her? So for those of you who have been wanting to learn more about Natasha's past and learn about Natasha as she was a kid, it looks like you're going to be getting that chance in Black Widow. So a lot of great news happened just in the past few days. It looks like everything is getting back on track, and hopefully not too long from now, in a few months, we're going to get the first projects of Phase 4. So let me know what you are most excited about for Phase 4 in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you can stay up to date on everything happening in the MCU. For live updates, you can follow me on Twitter, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.